Alrighty, guys, we're back for another Dokkan battle video. Okay, let's talk about some stuff right here. So, Goten got a, sticker mask, easy SA effects put into the SA script, blah, 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 blah. Potentially, he could be coming up on an EZA soon. Now, we've seen situations like this happen where this is dropped, like something like this, like they kind of accidentally, like, revealed their hand that they have plans for a character to EZA, and then they EZA very quickly after. But there's some we're still waiting for. They did something similar with LR Goku and Piccolo back in August, and they have not EZA'd yet. So remember, it's just a distinction that he could potentially be on the table. This really is, I almost feel, kind of akin to nothing, though. Because it's like, I mean, he's going to EZA eventually regardless, right? It's not like a direct correlation that he's going to EZA soon. But there is that. There is also this right here. So ID number 143 is missing. And as we can see, that's, I mean, we could clearly see that's BUU Saga characters. Yeah, okay, so I think, okay, so there's that. And then there's also a gap between Heroes Edition 4 and then Destined Rivals Saga 6. This one is a little bit less meaningful, because occasionally there are kind of like EZAs moved around. Like, if we look at the order of these EZAs, we would see that, like, some of the, 9th anniversary EZAs are moved all over, kind of like shotgunned around with, like, other EZAs that came out a little after anniversary and a little before anniversary. Like, it's not like one-to-one, like the order that they make them and the order they release them and blah, 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 right? So, like, 161, 162, to me are more than likely, well, I mean, it could be these guys, I guess. It could be them. But it also could be just, potential stuff like for New Year's or anniversary. Let's just say, for the sake of discussion, New Year's is GT, right? Those could be like GT characters. Well, I guess they probably, the GT Goku and Vegeta will probably be Destined Rivals Saga 7, wouldn't they? The Golden Week 2021 characters. Well, okay, anyway, blah, 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 blah. I think, oh, let me pull up the schedule. So, we now know that this week is Carnival Gotenks, one of the best characters in the game. Top 5 minimum, top 3 more likely, potentially top 1. That's this week's content. And Global finally gets Jiren in the Goku and Frieza fight, which means Global has now caught up on everything, right? So now we wonder about what next week is. I think next week is going to be probably another light week. Probably some EZAs. Could we get a bunch of sub-EZAs? We could. Could it be, a more impactful EZA like this guy? I think so. I would like this guy to EZA right now. And my reasoning for this is that we know that they keep the skeleton of the kit very similar. So when we take a look at this, he has these two and his active and his unit super attack built around BUU Saga Gokus. So it's like, they could give him so much, but this guy is still, it's going to be like, he's going to be, doing his thing with a BUU Saga Goku out, right? Like, that's just, it's literally just the way it's going to be, right? He's going to need a BUU Saga Goku. Right now, we're in a pretty good spot with that. This guy, pretty good. Not really for the Goku and Frieza fight. I mean, if you are able to hide him successfully away from 17 and Golden Frieza too much, he obviously can be very good. And we have the other Super Saiyan 3 Gokus who are on page 2 now, which is crazy. Just shows, it's unbelievable how many BUU Saga characters come out this year. This Super Saiyan 3 Goku, this Super Saiyan 3 Goku. You could run STR Vegito. I'm not really enamored with him. But there's a lot of options. A lot of BUU Saga Gokus that could make this guy very relevant right now. So I think it could be a good kind of like end to the celebration. And they would cover kind of bouncing around like a lot of decent hits for the BUU Saga, right? We got a new Buuhan after, I mean, we could, LR Booteng / Buuhan certainly counts. But besides that, this is only, what, our 3rd premium Buuhan? Well, I guess we could also count the Transforming Super Buu as well back in 2018. But, I mean, regardless, like, Buuhan, it was time. And Buuhan has so many animations on the table. And he still does. I mean, even though it was a Buuhan character, I mean, most of what the fancy stuff with his card is built around is not even necessarily stuff you would think of as Buuhan. It was, after the fight with Vegito. So that's interesting to consider. And then they jumped it, Goten finally gets his LR, very deserved. We, had the Super Saiyan 3 Angel Goku and the Tech Majin Vegeta EZAs, which people wanted. We had Grand Supreme Kai got his first TUR. So they kind of like bounced all over and covered a lot of stuff. So ending it, remember, keep in mind that the Kid Buu Burst Mode drops tonight at midnight with Gotenks. It, to me, would make a ton of sense. To kind of like end this Buu Saga celebration with a powerful Kid Buu EZA. I think so. Absolutely. Right? Like a Kid Buu fight EZA, I think would work really well. And keep in mind, so that we're talking about what will probably come next week. The week after that is going to be New Year's stuff. New Year's Dual Dokkan Fest. We'll be moving into that as the final. That'll be the first celebration where everything is completely caught up. I mean, it's not the first synced celebration, but it's the first celebration where Global has actually gotten everything. So that'll be good. And then we're going to be moving on towards anniversary. So January 30th is probably when the anniversary characters will be dropping. So there's Vegeta. I think that maybe we could see a second Super EZA. Probably not. But, I mean, we did basically get Buuhan. And then we've gotten almost no, like buffs for his team, right? Power Absorption has gotten, no help. And, I mean, I know Power Absorption can work well, but, I mean, Power Absorption is going to just flat out get power crept very quickly, easily, right now. He's going to need some help if, that domain condition of having full Power Absorption is going to be relevant whatsoever. Otherwise, Buuhan will be a very good character, nice, fairly decent defensive character with support, up until turn 6 when you can actually do his domain, right? Now, I don't think it's very likely that this guy gets a Super EZA, but it's at least on the table. Now, I then wanted to talk about a couple of characters here. So, this Buu Piccolo, this Buu Gotenks, this Evil Buu, and then also this guy. This guy's a free-to-play character, so he's a little bit different. These three are summonable SRs. These three characters right here, these three summonable SRs, they still need a Dokkan Awakening, right? I guess it's possible maybe that they never get it, but it seems kind of wonky to me. Damn, I remember this day clearly, man. When this Buuhan banner dropped at New Year's, holy shit, I was still on Global. I was dude, the second one that the banner was up, I was right there. I wanted to summon. That was back in the day. I know everyone, goes, oh, you can never understand the mindset of a free-to-play player. You're out of touch. And it's like, I mean, I guess to an extent, probably. Yeah, probably. But back then, I did save my stones and not summon on anything, basically, for 7 months, waiting for Physical Vegito Blue and AGL Rose to drop, right? And that included, this monster Buuhan, who was, I like the clear number 2 unit in the game at the time. Vegito was obviously 1. So that was very tough to not summon on him. But, I mean, at some point, I mean, I'm sure they will awaken these three, give them a nice little TUR, and then they potentially could EZA them then or down the line or something like that. So, just wanted to kind of bring it to people's attentions. Keep an eye out for these characters, right? I mean, listen, Buu Piccolo could be very good for Buuhan right now, because guess what Buu Piccolo is? That's right, he is Power Absorption, which we want. Speaking of Buu Piccolo, and then there's also this guy. I mean, I guess to be fair, this guy would need to be made obtainable. I don't see any reason why he couldn't be, right? Made obtainable again. Okay, so this guy originally came out, his SSR, I think that was during the first anniversary. It's a little bit before my time, but I am a historian for Dokkan as well, as I touch my glasses like Kabuto. So I believe he came out during the first anniversary. And then he got an awakening, and, we were able to get him again. That was, I believe, during the Super Saiyan 4 Gogeta, the tech Super Saiyan 4 Gogeta and Physical Omega Shenron Worldwide Download Celebration. We're able to obtain him and then also get him his Dokkan Awakening. I'd love for them to EZA this guy. I mean, really cool little character right here. Hopefully they'll bring him back one day. I mean, I have faith that they will. And certainly one thing I don't like for you know, maybe like newer players coming in or anything like that as unobtainable characters is bullshit, right? Like I've got them, but like I would like for other people to be able to get them too. I think it's stupid have unobtainable characters. All right, so there's that. Now we could talk about like kind of like a sub EZA section. I've got a lot of BUU Saga characters pulled up. This guy and this guy are the two major ones I do want to talk about though. Here, let's get you back right there. Okay. This guy would be King Tut showing up for Buhan's team. I mean, he's got the HP regeneration. He's got some stats. He's a support for power absorption. And then he's already got that dodge built in, baby. This guy could be, oh my god, good. It is so free to make this guy good and make him a really nice option with Buhan. I would love this guy getting his EZA, for sure. Keep in mind that he is an EZA from a Dokkan Fest LR, as is Tien, by the way. An EZA from a Dokkan Fest LR. So they could go one of two routes. They could either EZA them from random medals, or potentially what, not these EZAs, but what this EZA maybe could be is like one of these EZAs of a bunch of BUU Saga characters. Could be. Easily could be. Easily could be. I mean, and the other thing too is, like, dude, like, remember, these guys came out, these were 9th anniversary characters for JP, basically. This guy was gold. This is what I was talking about too, by the way. Yeah, these guys came out at the start of March. This guy came out mid-April. This guy came out in May, right? Like they're jumping all over between the release dates, even though they're kind of like bam, 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 bam in order. So like this easily 143 right here could just be a group sub EZA. Tien could be very interesting. You know, who knows how they could make him, but he's another strong BUU Saga support type character. This guy was really crazy back when he first came out. Both of these two were. These units were very good banner units. We also have this Gohan who could come out. Right now, it would be a good time for him to release, right? Things haven't really changed much since the Worldwide Download Celebration. This guy could certainly make for a strong addition to, like, a movie hero team, or, you know, potentially help out, like, the Family Kamehameha or something like that. Remember that a lot of these characters were added to BUU Saga, so they're all, within realm of potentially EZAing. Then we have, Great Saiyaman, and we also have Dabura right here. These two, of course, are Angel Super Saiyan 3 Goku, as well as Tech Majin Vegeta's characters right here. They're banner units. They also would make for very interesting, whatchamacallit, sub EZAs. By the way, I mean, I brought it up like, oh, I wouldn't mind to see these two as Dokkan Fest, and people, no, we couldn't. No way. Gohan and Dabura could never. But like every other like low hype characters, of course they could be Dokkan Fest. Like, stop it, dude. I would love, I'm telling y'all, man, it would be a sick character. He would be sick. His intro could be when he goes Super Saiyan 2 in front of Kibito, when Kibito tells him to go Super Saiyan 2. That shit is so, like the art of that episode is so good. Like, it would be an incredible, and I think that's Gohan's best fit, right? This with the green gi, you know, when he fights Dabura, I think it could be a fun character. And they probably would, he technically would be a Dokkan Fest Great Saiyaman too, which is funny. Okay, so this guy could be very good. It's funny looking at these characters now, how basic they are. Now you have these 17 paragraphs on every single character, right? But like, look how many BUU Saga supports are. All of these older BUU Saga supports who are just sitting here, ready to be EZA'd. I mean, these guys potentially could be there. They could be very good. There's Tech Krillin. Tech Krillin could be very relevant right now. There's a lot of Trunks and Gotens. Unfortunately, this doesn't include Gotenks, though. Oh my god, could you imagine? I don't even think that they would EZA it and give him Gotenks as part of it. But holy shit, like, imagine, like, if this Krillin could be used at full power. Remember, I mean, Trunks and Goten are very good. So, like, Krillin, I mean, he would be an interesting sub-EZA right now. Then there's also West Supreme Kai and Supreme Kai and Kibito. These two characters obviously came out with Tech Ultimate Gohan, who's been around for quite a while. West Supreme Kai, who knows with her? I don't know. They have not released one of these gods from the BUU Saga and made them relevant, like, almost ever. This character, I guess this unit goes against what I just said. I found this guy was so good back in 2020. He was so effective as I was going for my initial, like, no item runs in some of those extreme Super Battle Road stages. This guy was very handy with his debuffs and his heals. And remember, he could transform whenever you want to. It's an interesting character, the Supreme Kai and Kibito. I mean, you know, they could give us like a 5-character sub-EZA. That could be very interesting. Buffing a handful of teams and then getting us ready for 10th anniversary content, right? There's that. And then finally, of course, here's the Goten. Remember, Goten is a gifted warrior support type character, so he potentially could be a massive buff for AGL Vegeta's team. Remember, AGL Vegeta is our gifted warrior leader right now. Is AGL Vegeta the only relevant gifted warrior leader? No, they do count as well. And they're probably just outright better than AGL Vegeta, huh? Yeah, they are for sure. Wow. Could you imagine? Like, if this guy was good, like, just, you know, just good. Just a support with a lot of defense. And that's all he is. How crazy Trunks and Goten become next to this guy? It'd be crazy. Yeah, it really would. Alright, so there's him. By the way, there was another... okay. Any 2022 characters, by the way, I just outright do not think are on the table yet. So, like, Majin Vegeta's banner unit, which I just saw, like this character... I do not think we're going to see this character easy or anything like that. This Trunks and Goten as a 2022 character, I don't think so. We're not going to see them do anything. And then that would end with this. I mean, they could, and I mean, we're looking at it. There's 2 spots right there. 161, 162. It could be them. This would be interesting. These would be pretty hype. People would go pretty crazy for this guy. This is one of the more popular characters. People just love this guy, love the damage that he was able to output. So, I mean, it certainly would be an exciting EZA to kind of get people, you know, into the swing of things going into the 10th anniversary, right? Although we are about to go into, remember, January typically is kind of very slow as well. The January lull before anniversary is very, very typical. And then, of course, we have Kid Buu, Kid Goat. It feels like 100 millenniums ago, but remember when this guy gave me, like, he clutched up at the very end of my artificial life form no item run against Beast Gohan. Again, it doesn't even sound like an accomplishment these days because of how buff the artificial life form category got, but back in the day, you know, 10 months ago, this guy was, he had a goated moment on the channel, man. He really did. He really did. It was very fun. So, all right, there we go. Let me know what you guys think about what EZA characters we potentially could see. I think it's very on the table and very realistic that they could grab 3 or 4 of these banner unit characters. Let's just get rid of they're probably not going to do anything with these guys, so let's just get rid of them and him. And I don't think they're going to do a super EZA, so I'm just going to get rid of him too. But I think a lot of these characters could be on the board to EZA. I'm not super sure about these 2, but it certainly would be fun if they would. So... let me know what you guys think. The BUU Saga certainly has taken huge strides. I think the reason BUU Saga has been so prevalent in Dokkan and Legends this year is because of Daima. And we're going to be moving into Daima stuff and a lot of demonic power characters and stuff like that. So BUU Saga, we might just continue to get BUU Saga stuff moving forward. We'll see. Let me know what you guys think, and I'll catch y'all next time.